Okay, we are going to do our edgenuity assignment. You're going to click over here on three-dimensional geometry, and then you're going to go to volume of pyramids. And the date on mine says November 21st, and we're going to do the assignment first. I wish this would go away, this little box thing. Maybe if I hit X, or maybe if I just say, I don't know how to make it go away. I guess I could just X that out maybe. There, it went away. Okay, are you ready? So here we go. Which is the correct calculation for the volume of this pyramid? So let's get my slate going here. Okay, we got volume equals big B times H divided by 3. Now they're using the 1/3 instead of that, and that is the same thing, 1/3 times big B times H. So basically, we need to figure out which formula is plugging things in right. Except this is pretty easy because no other one has a divide by 3 or a 1/3 except the first one. And this is the answer. And big B would be 9 times 4, which is 36. The height would be 7. So the first answer is the correct one. And you can feel good and happy about that. And I have a little ding for you. A little ding ding. Okay, number 2.
Follow the steps to find the volume of the pyramid shown.
Okay, we are going to find the big B. Big B is area of the base. So what do you guys have on the bottom? We have a rectangle which is 8 by 12. So type that into your calculator if you need to. Look at your menu choices. 8 times 12. Mrs. Bruno is getting 96. Anybody else get it? Good, they got it too out here. So what would the volume be? Well, volume is big B, which is 96, times the height, which is 10, divided by 3. So 96 times 10, divide by 3. What'd you guys get? I got 320 as well. Ding.
Can you find the error in Elena's work?
Yeah, let's see how Elena screwed up here. So a rectangular pyramid has a base that's 8 by 10. So that's for the big B. The height is 12 and the slant height is 15. And we talked about that earlier. That slant height is different than the height. They're using the 1/3 big B times H. So the 8 by 10 should be the big B. So that part looks right. She has 80 there, but what did she mess up? She used the slant height. That is the slant height. We're not supposed to use that. We're supposed to use the actual height. So she used the slant height instead. Yeah, that's pretty stupid, Elena. Don't do that or you won't have any friends, right? The 1/3 is fine. We're dividing by 3, but it's the same thing as multiplying by 1/3. Okay, let's try number 4.
Find the volume of each pyramid to determine which one can hold more space.
Okay, we're going to compare these two. So this guy is big B times H divided by 3. Big B on this one is 10 by 3. Does everybody see? That's 30 times the height, which is 12, divide by 3. I talked about that life hack earlier. Look, you could take 30 divided by 3 if you wanted to without your calculator. So that's 10 times 12. So this one is 120 for the first one. The square pyramid is also big B times H divided by 3. But the big B here is 6 by 6, which is 36, times 11.5 divided by 3. And I don't want to do that one by myself. So I'm going to type 36 times 11.5 in my calculator. I'm getting 414. When I divide it by 3, I get 138. So which one is bigger? Looks like the volume of the rectangular pyramid is less than the one of the square because the square is bigger. Ding. I can hear the ding in my head pods, but you guys can't. Well, you might if your sound is on. These aren't head pods at all, actually.
Volume of a pyramid with the same base and height as this prism.
Oh, perfect. So this wants to know if this is the prism, how much is in the pyramid? And we talked about that when we watched the video. It was kind of surprising. It would take 3 pyramids to fill it up. So if I find the volume of this prism, what can I do to find the pyramid? I can just divide by 3. Well, this is just a box. Do you remember how to find the volume of a box? Length times width times height, right? You just multiply them together. And then we're just going to divide by 3 at the end. So you could type it in your calculator, or you could cancel out those 3's if you wanted to and just get 27 as your answer. The answer for me is 27. But I have to actually type it in. Ding.
Use the figure and select the 2 statements.
Okay, let's see what's right here. This is a square pyramid again. So is the area of the base 64? Area of the base is base times height, 8 times 8. It sure is. That is 64. It is not 48. I have no clue how they would even get that, but they're wrong. So don't click the second one unless you want to be wrong too. A square prism with dimensions 8 by 8 by 6 will have a volume that's 3 times as big. That's true. If this was a prism instead of a pyramid, you would have had to divide it by 3 or multiply by 3 to get there. A square prism would have 1/3 of it. No, a square prism has more than this. Is the volume 384? Well, let's see. 8 times 8 is the big B. The height is 6, divide by 3. So 8 times 8 times 6, divide by 3. I'm getting 128, not 384. They did not divide by 3. So I think that's it. Let's see. Ding. Love that freaking ding.
The height of the pyramid is known, but the area of the base is not.
Okay. They told me the volume is 108.5. So how else can I write the volume if I don't like fractions? What's a half the same thing as? 0.5. So that's 108.5 for the volume. They're also telling me that the H is 14. So what formula am I going to use? Well, not it. Not it. Ding, this one. And now we're going to figure it out. So the volume is 108.5. Big B, we don't know. The height, I do know, is 14. Divide by 3. So to get big B by itself, I first am going to multiply by 3. So I'm going to take 108.5 times 3, and that is 325.5. And that is big B times 14. That's supposed to be a 3. It's garbagey, but it's fine. How do you get B by itself? You divide by 14. I'm getting 23.25, which makes me feel a little funny. Let's see if that is a choice. 23.25, which, can you see? Which fraction is the same as 0.25? 1/4, so it was a choice, and I did it correctly.
The measurements of the base are known.
Okay.
The measure of the height is not.
We're going to have to find this again. This time we're looking for the height. Volume is big B times H divided by 3. They're telling me what the volume is. The volume is 70. Big B, I actually have to find on my own. Big B will be 6 times 7, which is 42, times H, divide by 3. So I'm going to get H by itself. So I'm going to times 3 first. This is 210 is 42 times H. And I'll divide both sides by 42. 210 divide by 42. I'm getting 5. My answer is 5. I have some sleepy kids in the audience. I'm not even going to lie to you. Half the class is asleep right now. Is a little bit boring, so they can just watch it later. When you guys watch, maybe you can have a watch party, like on Facebook has watch parties and stuff. People can watch it together.
How do you find the height of a pyramid given the measurements of the base and the volume?
Okay, well, if they tell me the volume, what do I have to do? To find big B, I would take 5 times 7 and get 35. That would be big B. That would be the rectangle. Then I would take the volume, right? Take volume, divide. Oh, we don't do that first. Take volume times 3, right? And divide by 35 to get the height. Peyton says it doesn't matter what we type in here. I don't know. The jury's out. Yeah, Tayton's on here. Tayton is not on here, but when I said Tayton was on here, all of a sudden half the class woke up. He's not really on here. I don't know if he's on here. Oh, somebody else did show up, though, on our thing. Who's here? Awesome. Yeah, we're doing the problems. He says the multiplied out. If I'm wrong, if Tayton's wrong and we don't click them all, I'm gonna be mad. Is it always click them all? They say it's always true. Okay, it is right. They said it's a hack. Yeah, life hack.
Now suppose we create a new set of pyramids from a much larger cube. Can you find the ratio of the volume?
Yeah, this is tricky. Okay. They want to know if I have a cube, a pyramid, let's make it easy. We're going to make it easy. What if it's 1 by 1? Let's not do 1 by 1. Let's do 10 by 10 by, let's do 5. Okay? We're going to find the volume of this. And then they want to make one triple that. Maybe 10 was too big. It's fine. We can triple it. If I triple it, instead of 10, I'm going to use 10 times 3, which is 30 by 30. And I'm not going to use 15. What am I going to use? I said I'm not going to use 5. I gave the answer. I'm not going to use 5. I'm going to use 15. I gave the answer. Sorry. So let's find the two volumes and see if they're the same or what. Okay? So this is going to be big B times H divided by 3. Big B is 10 by 10. So that's 100 times 5 divided by 3. I'm going to get a fraction. 500 divided by 3. I get 166.6 repeating. Let's do this one. Instead of 100, I'm going to get 30 times 30, which is 900 times 15 divided by 3. 900 times 15 divided by 3 is 4,500. So the new volume is not smaller, so that's wrong. Is the new volume triple? If I take 166 times 3, is that it? No. Is it times 9? Well, let's see. 166.6 repeating times 9. That gives me 1,500. That's not it either. 27, that seems crazy. 166.6 repeating times 27. Guess what? That's what it is. It's times 27. And the reason that actually happens is because I'm not really just multiplying one thing by 3. I'm multiplying this by 3 and this by 3 and this by 3. So actually, I multiplied it by 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. So that's tricky, but we got those done. So now we're going to do our quiz. So if you want to go do the quiz with me, let's do the quiz. You won't get all of them, but you'll get at least some of them. I don't actually know what buttons to push. Okay. Then you won't have to do anything to do Friday, yeah. So go to three-dimensional geometry. Again, volume of pyramids, and we're going to do the quiz. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Which statements are true about a rectangular pyramid with a height of 15 inches and a base that's 12 by 9? So the area of the base is 36. Well, if the base is a rectangle, that's 12 by 9. That's base times height. To find the area of the base, 12 times 9 in my calculator says 108. So the area of the base is not 36. That's wrong. It is 108, and that is right. A rectangular prism with the dimensions of 9 by 12 by 15 will have the same volume as a pyramid. Does a prism and a pyramid have the same volume? No, that's not right. Will a rectangular prism have 3 times the volume? Yes, it'll have 3 times the volume. The last one is correct. And let's see if we can actually find the volume. So big B is 108 times H divided by 3. So I'm going to take 108 times the H, which is 15, divide by 3. And I do get 540. So if you had the same question as me, these are the 3 choices that you're going to do. Ethan, we're doing the quiz if you want to do it, but if you're sleepy, that's fine too. You can watch the video later. Okay, let's try the next one. What is the volume of this pyramid? So they tell me the base, and remember it's big B times H divided by 3. My bottom says 10 times 8. So big B is going to be 10 times 8 for the rectangle, which is 80. So we're going to take 80 times the height, which is 12, and divide it by 3. 80 times 12, divide by 3. And if you typed it into your calculator, hopefully you would get the same thing as me, and that's 320 inches cubed. Oh, sadness. I think I double skipped it. Oh, maybe it just went ahead. Okay. Okay, this time they're telling me that the volume is 216, and they want us to find the area of the base, which is big B. So the volume is big B times H divided by 3. They're telling me that the volume is 216. They want me to find big B, but the height is shown in the picture, and the height is 6. So we need to get big B by itself. So the first thing you always will have to do is get rid of the 3 by multiplying both sides by 3. So 216 times 3 is 648. So that's 648 is big B times 6. How do you get rid of the 6? You would divide by 6. And 648 divide by 6. That's funny because I think we had 108 earlier. So big B is going to be 108. And this time they use inches squared because big B is an area. Okay, number 4 for me wants us to find the volume of the whole thing. That's going to be big B times H divided by 3. Big B for me is a rectangle here, which is just base times height, or 8 times 6. So that's going to be 48. So 48 times the height, which is right here as 9, divide by 3 will be the volume. They didn't even put units on this one. That was kind of stupid. They could have put units on all those. 48 times 9, divide by 3. I'm getting 144, and since we're better than Edgenuity, we're going to say inches cubed. So Edgenuity, you can just, All right, number 5. Volume of this prism, it's a box, and it's 72. They even told it to me. How did they get that? Don't forget, that's length times width times height. They want to know what the volume of the pyramid will be then. Well, if the prism is 72, remember it takes 3 pyramids to fill it up. So you just need to take 72, divide by 3. 72, divide by 3, and that pyramid is going to be 24. So if they tell you the prism, you can divide it by 3 to get the pyramid. All right, this time they're going to take a pyramid and they're double it, and they're going to cut the length and width in half. Dang. This one's hard. So if you have one about doubling and cutting in half, you might want to do this one with me. Let's do a sample problem. So let's make a pyramid. Let's do 10, 10, and what did I do earlier? 5. But that gave us a decimal, didn't it? Let's do 10, 10, and 6 this time. See if that can help us not have a decimal. Let's see. That's the first one. The new one, it says the height is doubled. So instead of 6, it's going to be 12. Oh, that is so bad garbage. This is not good stuff right here. Okay, so instead of 6, we're going to have 12. And then the lengths are cut in half. So instead of 10, we're going to have 5. And we're going to compare the areas or volumes. So this is big B times H divided by 3. That's going to be 100 times 6 divided by 3. 100 times 6 divided by 3. I'm getting 200 for this guy. So let's see what this guy gives me. Big B will be 5 times 5, which is 25, times the height, which is 12, divide by 3. 25 times 12, divide by 3, and that gives me 100. So does the new pyramid have a volume 1/4 of the original? 200 times 1/4 is dividing by 4. No, that's not right. Does the new pyramid have a volume that is 1/2 of this? That seems right. The new pyramid is half of the 200. That's it. Okay, so on these where you're doubling, make up one first, whatever you want. Try to pick easier numbers. And then do what the directions say on the second one to see if you can figure it out. Okay, number 7. Each of the dimensions are doubled. So what is true about the new one? So again, let's do that one I just used. We'll do the 10, 10, 6 again. For the 10, 10, 6, volume was big B times H divided by 3. That's 100 times 6 divided by 3. And remember, that was 200. So for the next one, everything is doubled. So instead of 10, 10, 6, we're going to have a bigger one. And it's going to be 20, 20. And if you double 6, you get 12. So big B will be 20 times 20, which is 400, times 12 divided by 3. 400 times 12, divide by 3, and I get 1,600 for the new guy. So does the new one have half the volume of the original? No. Is it times 2? 200 times 2? Not it. 4? Still not it. It's actually 8 times. It's actually 8 times when you double all the sides. Okay. You have 2 rectangular pyramids with a height of 9 centimeters and a base the dimensions of 4 centimeters by 6. Which statements are true about one rectangular pyramid, 9 centimeters high, base is this? Okay. The area of the base, right, would be the area of the rectangle, which would be 4 by 6. So that's not 8, it is 24. So big B is 4 times 6, which is 24. The height is 9. So a rectangular prism will have 3 times that volume. Yeah, that's true. A rectangular prism is bigger than the pyramid. So you'll have to take it times 3. That will be right. And is the volume 216? Well, let's see. Volume is big B times H divided by 3. 24 times 9 divided by 3. That is 72. That's not right. I'm getting 72 when I type it in. So that is not right. It looks like there's just the 2 in the middle. Okay. Which pyramid has greater volume and how much greater? So you got to find them both. Big B here will be 7 times 6, which is 42, times the height, divide by 3. There's that shortcut because their 3's are there. That's just going to be 42. Try this one. Big B, 4 times 3 is 12, times the height, which I think is 10, divide by 2. That's 120 divided by 2, which is 60. So the one on the right is bigger. So the volume on the pyramid on the right is bigger. So it's one of the bottom 2. Is it bigger by, did I mess up? Must have messed up. 4 times 3 is 12. Is it say 10? Oh, I divided by 2. Ding dong. Why would I divide by 2? Because Mrs. Bruno's stupid. 120. My friends aren't helping me because they're just sleepy. They act like I'm the worst teacher they've ever had. So now it's not even right. This one's actually smaller. So fact check. This one is smaller. So on the left is bigger. How much bigger? By 2. Man, sad to be a teacher today. Sad day to be a teacher. Okay, last one. Plug this in. Okay, they're using 1/3. So it's 1/3 big B times H. Is there only one that has 1/3? No, there's 2. So it's one of these 2. Big B is area of the base, which will be 10 by 6. So that's going to be 10 times 6. And then what height do I use? Don't use the slant height. Use the 12. So 10, 6, and 12 with the 1/3. For me, that's the top one. Okay? That should be all of them. You might have some extra ones that are similar, but I think you can get a passing grade based on what we did. I got 100, so boom. All right, see ya.